Dwayne at RealFixesRealFast.com. Today we're working on a '04 Toyota Highlander, and the complaint is that something's wrong with the air conditioning. There's several things that could be this problem, but this is very common and it's a pretty simple fix you can do yourself. Now the problem really has nothing to do with the air conditioning, the actual compressor in the air conditioning. It really only has something to do with the airflow. If you look right here in the middle, now up here in the middle on your left is your blower speed, on your middle is your temperature. You can see that for the blue cold and the red hot, and the right is your position. Our problem is here in the middle. Now this is electronically controlled, and it controls your airflow to go either past the heater core to give you hot or the air conditioning to give you cold. Behind here is what we call a potentiometer that electronically controls the position of this door by turning the knob. Now the complaint is basically going to be when the car is starting with or without the air conditioning on. You might set it for cold, and every once in a while it just kind of on its own goes to hot without moving the knob, or possibly the other way. You have it set on warm and then it just goes to cold. Now in this case we don't even have the air conditioning turned on, but still this would be vent air, outside air right there, and then this would be cooler outside air and then warmer outside air, but the air compressor is not even on. But it seems like when you put this for cool air, it just automatically switches on its own. Now to make this repair, it's actually pretty simple. You just grab this center knob with your fingers and just pull it off. It just slides on, and it is indexed on that stem. Now this might seem like too simple of a repair, but if you look real close back in here over the top, you'll see some electronics back there. That's because that's a potentiometer. As you turn this dial in here, it touches contacts in there. And then when I take my finger and wiggle this stem, you can see it moving. Well, it causes the contacts in that potentiometer not to touch right. This needs to be tight. And if you look real close here, this little nut is just kind of loose. So all you really need to do is take a 7/16 nut driver, put it over there, and tighten it down. Now don't make it overbearingly tight, just nice and snug. And now when I take my finger and move it, you can see that everything's tight back there. That's all there is to it. Then you just line up your index marks with the stem, slide it back on. Now while you're in here, this one has a nut behind it as well, so it could be just a little bit loose. Take it off. You see there's electronics back behind it as well. Just take your nut driver, tighten that one down, and then slide your dial back on. Now the one on the left does not have a nut. If you pull it off, you see there's nothing to tighten back there. So we just slide the cover back on and we're all set. Now after you make this repair, you need to start the car and run it through its cycles to test it, to make sure that it is going to switch from hot to cold and stay there. If it doesn't stay there, if it still drops out, it easily could be your control head back behind there or the potentiometer. At that point you'd want to consult your shop to let them check it out further.